Hey guys, Rubber Tramp Renegade here. I've had a lot of activity on my channel lately. I don't know if it's the weather warming up, people starting to get out and do more things, but I appreciate everybody who's watching my videos, and there's been a lot of good questions. One of the questions that I want to talk about, I've gotten a lot, is about my stove. You guys know this is my camper van. I use it for camping. I don't live in it full time like some of you guys do, but a lot of the things that I have would work well for you if you're doing the van dwelling thing, but the stove that I use is a dual fuel stove, and I keep it under my bed. And let me show you real quick. Here's a stove that I use. It says Seth McGuinn's multi-fuel portable cooktop. So when you get it, it comes in this little case, and I got this off of Amazon. I think I have a link in the description. If not, I'll check and I'll make sure it's in there. But it comes in this little case, and you open it up, and here is the stove. It says multi-fuel. You've probably all seen a stove like this, but usually they're butane. What I like about this is it uses butane or propane. So once you take it out of the case here, you'll see that it's got this little piece here. You just take it off and flip it over. Now that's going to be for your pot or pan to sit on, and then on this side here you'll see there's some controls here, lock and unlock, and then here's your dial here, low to high, and you're going to open this, and when you get it from the factory, it'll come with this little hose here. Now this hose here, excuse me, I haven't used yet. This is for the propane. This is for the butane. This is what your butane looks like. It's got this little red cap. You're going to take it off. Just leave it to the side because you can reuse this. You don't have to leave it hooked into your stove. So what you're going to do is lift this little piece up here. And you're gonna put that right there, and now that's just gonna line up with that little notch. You'll see there's a notch in that can there, and this little tab, I hope you can see that, it lifts up. You line this little nozzle up, and that goes down. Now what you're gonna do to engage that is push this lever here down where it says lock. You're just gonna push that down, and you'll see when you push that down, it pushes that bottle in. It grabs it and pulls it. So there's your butane. It's in there. We should have fuel now and be able to light this thing up. Now I've got my fan opened, and I'm probably going to turn it on, at least on low, to kind of ventilate this space a little bit while I light this and run it for a minute. Alright, now I got my fan on, and it's just on low speed, so I get some air circulating through here. Alright, and on this particular model, you'll see it's got off, low, medium, high, and then it says ignition down here, and there's a little spark, like a little spark icon. If you go down there and go all the way, you'll hear it click, and when it clicks, it's going to light that flame. So there it's lit, and I'm going to back that flame off just a little bit. I hope you can see that flame there. So that's basically how this little stove works. That's using the butane. So let me try to hook this propane up and see if I can get it working. Before I get that propane going, I'm just going to show you how to take this canister back out. It's just like you put it in. So basically you're going to lift up on this, and it's going to kick that out, and there you go. It seals back so it doesn't have any gas escaping from this canister, and then all you got to do is put the lid back on and store it away. You could probably keep this in your stove. I just like to take it off when I'm not using it. Alright, well, I've got my propane and I've got my hose. Now, these little propane bottles are little 1-pound bottles. You can get them pretty much anywhere. Walmart, Cabela's, Gander. It used to be Gander Mountain, now it's Gander Outdoors. But anyways, you can get these at any camping store, hardware store, something like that. They're more expensive to buy individually. If you've have bought propane before you'll know that. But basically, you're going to want to buy these a couple times, get you 3 or 4 of these just to keep, and then you can refill them with a larger bottle. You can't necessarily take these to a refill place and get them refilled, but you can refill them yourself with a little adapter, and I'll show you how to do that in another video. Here's the hose that came with the stove for the propane. You'll want to put this on your stove first, because what will happen if you screw this in first, you're just going to get propane coming out of the end of this. There's nothing to stop it. What's going to stop it is this stove. So let's go ahead and get this hooked onto the stove here. If you'll see, the back of this stove has a little hole here that makes it hooking this cylinder up a little bit easier. You want to be careful with these threads, because it's just a real fine thread. It looks like a brass thread. You don't want to cross thread those or damage them in any way, or you'll get a propane leak. And just hand tight, just as tight as you can get it with your hands. There's no sense of putting a wrench or anything on it. Now what you're going to want to do is put your propane cylinder onto this hose. This has the regulator on there. So don't just get an adapter hose. You got to make sure you have this regulator, or it could be dangerous for you. You might get a little bit of gas escaping when you screw this on there, but a little bit's not going to hurt anything. Alright, I've got that on there, and it's pretty snug. You could use a bottle of soapy water and spray these connections, make sure there's nothing escaping. I put my ear to it and just kind of listened for something. I don't really hear anything, so I'm going to go ahead and I feel comfortable enough to leave that where it is. I'm going to set that off to the side, and I'm going to close this again, and I'm going to fire this up and see what it does. Now, this is the first time I've ever fired this stove with propane, so I don't know what it's going to do. We might just blow ourselves up. There it is. I've got a nice blue flame. Seems to be working great. I can turn this up or down. You know, I'm pretty curious to find out myself. I may do a test and see how long one can of propane will last and how long one can of butane will last. The good thing about propane is you can use it in colder temperatures. I don't know exactly the temperature of butane. Some of you guys may know, but I think it's 32 degrees. I could be wrong. Once you get below a certain temperature, you can't use butane. It won't light. So you have a little trouble cooking if it gets too cold. Propane is not that way. It can withstand a colder temperature and still fire up. I think it uses, it has to have less oxygen to burn or something of that nature. But anyways, that's my stove. Once again, it's a Seth McGuinn's multi-fuel portable cooktop. I'm not getting any money for giving you a review of this. This is just what I use camping. So pick yourself up one of these and let me know how you like it. Thanks for watching. I'll see you next time.